So, hi guys, today we'll be looking at what an economic moat is. You guys might have heard this term being thrown around, and it's generally not very well explained about like what exactly it is. So today we'll be looking about what is it, how it benefits a company, and the 5 different types of different economic moats that different companies can have. So the first step in figuring out what an economic moat is. So first of all, what a moat is that in medieval times they had a castle, they had like a ring of wood around it to protect from attackers. So the same way works with economic moats. It effectively works as a defense for a company against its competitors. And it exists because the company is doing something right or has a certain edge over its competitors that the competitors can't exactly reach at the moment, giving this company an economic moat or a step ahead. So the first type of economic moat that we'll go through is called intangible assets. So intangible assets consists of 2 different things: patents or brands, something that basically gives that a company has access to that its competitors doesn't really have. So the first type of intangible asset can be a brand name such as Nike, and a brand name such as Nike basically makes sure that Nike can charge more for its shoes compared to like the average shoe producer, therefore making more profit while putting the same amount of effort in. The second type of intangible asset could be like a patent, such as mostly for medical companies, where they have access to a drug, a vaccine, the same way Pfizer has like access to the COVID vaccine right now, and that really allows it to have access to a market or have access to the profits from the vaccines without its competitors simply just copying it. So the first type of economic moat is an intangible asset. The second one is low cost advantage. And low cost advantage essentially means that a company can produce goods or purchase goods from its suppliers at a lower cost. And these tend to mostly happen when companies are buying things in bulk. So companies such as Costco or Walmart, Starbucks, McDonald's, because they buy their goods in such huge amounts, they generally get a discount, increasing their profit margin, and once again making more money for the same amount of effort put in. And usually low cost advantage also works with intangible assets, meaning that they tend to buy it at a lower cost and then sell it at a higher cost, generally strengthening the support around the business. The third type of economic moat is the network effect, and that effectively happens when a company becomes more and more valuable the more people use it, and because more people use it, becomes more valuable, which cause more people use it, and it kind of becomes a cycle effect. The first type of example you could see this is with Amazon, because Amazon has so many buyers, it has so many sellers, and because it has so many sellers, it has more buyers, and it kind of just compounds and compounds and compounds, growing the business quite strongly. Other things could be like social media apps, where the whole brand model is to have more and more people online, and the more and more people you have online, the more people the current users can connect to, bringing more people onto the platform. So because of this, companies such as Facebook, and they own Instagram as well, they tend to have network effect as an economic moat. The fourth type of economic moat would be switching cost, when both brands or competitors are kind of on a similar level, like the same way with Xbox and PS4, but due to fees such as cancellation fees or setup costs, or just the way that it's built, they don't exactly let their current users switch to their competitors. This could be through subscription services like Netflix, or things such as just having a lot of things connected like iCloud or Google Drive. These kind of things, because so much is stored up in one space, it's very difficult to move it to another one. So switching costs basically shows when 2 companies are on the same level, they generally have quite high switching costs because it may seem like it's quite easy to switch from one place to the other, but in reality there's a lot of hidden costs, or just having to retrain your staff, as the example of Office 365, or just having to buy new equipment, and all of these bring up their switching costs, and companies tend to not want to switch from where they are right now. So an example for an economic moat could be switching cost. And the last but not least economic moat would be the niche market, and that's when the company that's when the industry the company is currently working in is so small, and because of that, only 1 to 2 companies control the entire market share. And because of this, it's very difficult for new competitors to come in. And because it's very difficult for new competitors to come in, it's very rare that they lose any market share to either competitor. So an example of this could be the airline manufacturing industry, where almost 96 to 98% of all airlines are created from Boeing or Airbus. And because making airlines is quite a labor intensive or expensive craft, it's not like anyone can simply just come in and start making airlines the same way they are. And because of this niche market essentially protects the company from all of its competitors or would-be competitors that could come in from another market, such as an industry that was not so niche, such as smartphones or a burger joint or stuff like that. However, a drawback to niche market would be that the companies tend to not grow that much because they already are at quite a considerable size. And because of this, there tends to not be much growth in terms of these companies, but overall they would still be considered as quite strong companies with an advantage over other competitors. So thank you for watching. These were the 5 main economic moats that we covered through. And you can see how each individually benefits their company in a different way. And certain companies tend to have multiple economic moats. So an example could be Apple, where it has intangible assets. And because it produces so many phones, it would have low cost advantage. It would have switching costs as well because of iCloud and Game Store, App Store. So all of these kind of create a complete bubble around it, and you can see Apple has quite a lot of economic moats as well. So this is kind of an example of how economic moats can lead to a very strong company. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.